Hey everyone, welcome back to 5-Day Crypto. My name is Chase. Welcome back. Happy Wednesday. Today we're going to look at Bitcoin on 5 different charts today. 5 different ones. We're going to start off with a good one, Pi Cycle Top Indicator. We're going to look at what it is, how to set it up, what it means, how it can help you in the future going forward. So Bitcoin today, we're focusing on Bitcoin because Bitcoin, like it or not, is the market mover at this point in time. So if you have altcoins, great. If you have Bitcoin, great. Bitcoin kind of dominates the market. Whatever it wants to do, kind of the rest of the market gets the knee-jerk reaction to said moves of Bitcoin. So let's dive right in. If you liked the video today, give us a thumbs up. Follow us on Twitter, Telegram, and Patreon if you want to learn a little bit more than what you see in my videos. Do it now. So Pi Cycle Top Indicator. What in the hell do we got here? If you've never seen this before, you're in for a treat, maybe. Some people like it, some people don't. I don't care. We're going to look at it, what it does anyway. So going up, what the hell? What are these lines? These are simply the 111-day moving average and the 350-day moving average in the green here. 111 orange, 350 green. If you want to set this up, you just go to TradingView, hit your FX thing, type it in, right? Pi Cycle Top Indicator, type it in just like that, and find the one by this guy. Works well. Okay, so it should pop right up. You want to use this on the daily chart because you have these are the daily moving averages. And look, historically speaking, the last it predicted the top within a few days here, right? So the top flashed right here about 60K April 12th, and then there's our 64K top 2 days later. So you might ask, why didn't we use that and when this happened? Well, this was the first time that this has been around before the peak. What do I mean by that? You can see it right here, back in 2017. What do you mean, Chase? Well, the creators of this retrofit this back in the bear market. They made it in this area. I'm not sure exactly when. They made it after this peak. They retrofit the data to fit the peaks. And this going into this peak, nobody knew if this would actually work or not. But it seems to work pretty well, right? So look what's happening right now. The whole point of me starting this today is one of my Patreon members brought this up, that the uptick, look at the uptick, right? The last time we had an uptick was, either in this area, you could argue here, or here. So where could we possibly be? Well, that's why we're looking at this. Well, look at the gap on this. You can kind of measure these gaps. So this is about, 80, 84, 85%. What about this gap? When we started to close? Well, it's about right in there, right? So that's 70%, maybe a little less. So maybe we're down here. Somewhere in between one of these is probably more likely, right? So look at the top. We had roughly 270 days between we started to uptick, right, in the 111 to when we peaked. If we are to repeat something like this, well, you can take a bars pattern, you can do whatever you want to do, right, at the uptick, right? So take that, go to the peak. We can set this right over yonder. And we can see that June 29th, towards the end of June, would be if we were to repeat something similar to that. I'm not saying we're going to go to these prices. I highly doubt it by June. But you can mess around with this. But you can see if we're going to peak this year at what people are calling for 100K. I mean, we got to get moving pretty soon, right? So I highly doubt that's possible. But, nothing would surprise me at this point in crypto. Going out to, end of June, that looks a little bit more doable, right? I think we're probably going to have a bigger blow off peak than we did this time. There's just a lot more money, a lot more people knowing about it as we move forward for sure. Once Bitcoin clears 100K, that's going to really, psychologically for humans, 100K is a big level. But if we were to repeat something similar with this uptick, with the Pi Cycle Top, I would say we're probably at least another 8 to 12 months out. That's just my opinion based on everything that I know in my 4 years plus being in crypto. So I'm not saying just going to, any way, shape, or form, going to repeat something like this, but just fun to look at here and there, everywhere. So look at the Pi Cycle Top back then. This predicted this top within 1 day. But like I said, this was fit after this. This is our first data point going in with, before the peak happened. this proved to be quite accurate again. So we will watch this like a hawk when we start to close this gap up. You can see it could take some time, right? So let's watch and see. Now, why is this starting to uptick? Well, if you look at your moving average, remember we said this is 111 days? Well, let's see where we are. 111 days ago, we were right here. Well, what happens here? Well, look, the reason it was trending down is because it was averaging all these days in. And the reason it's starting to level off and go back up is it's starting to average these days in, right? The little bit less catastrophic than the free fall. And same with this. This is 350-day moving average, almost a year, right? So go back here. Well, now it's going to start averaging in these days, right? It's been averaging in all this. So now, over the next coming weeks, this should start ticking even more upwards because it's going to start pulling in all these candles. So historically, anytime these averages start moving up, they really kind of continue moving up. And we can see that this green line's really going to start moving up after it starts averaging these bigger candles. So prices really could get going here. This is a little bit more evidence that we could be in for a big uptick here sometime soon. So we will watch and see. Obviously, moving averages just react to the price, so they're not like an indicator or anything. But the price cycle top, once we start closing this gap again, and you see this happening, that would be a sign to start paying attention. Historically, says price cycle top might be a good indicator to add to your toolkit. You don't want to trade off of one indicator, but having a conglomerate of indicators that all say similar things is what can help you make a better trader and be ahead of the masses. So let's get to our next chart. What do we got here? This is our 50-day moving average in the orange and our 200-day moving average in the purple. We just had a golden cross. Zoom right in here. It happened today. You can look at the numbers right here. So the orange is now 45,970 and the purple, the 200-day, is 45,883. So we've officially had a cross. Do we want to get a close today, right? In these cross, because if prices somehow crash back down to 44K, maybe we delay it till tomorrow. But it's highly probable these will end up crossing. Now historically, the past several bull golden crosses, the days following, we've actually had a drawback. Golden cross, prices go down. But this is the catalyst that you need for these kind of moves, right? You want, in a bull market, you have to have your golden cross and you have to have price action above your 200-day moving average. So far, we now have both. We have two check marks. Things could get going, but you got to remember that over the next week or so, we could still have rough waters. Historically speaking, the past several times we've had a golden cross right here, right? Price action goes down the next several days. Next golden cross right here. Price action goes down the next several days. And what else do you see here? You can have fake outs, right? This is kind of an anomaly because this is the black swan event that is the coronavirus. But historically, we've had fake outs before. Death cross, golden cross, death cross, golden cross. But the farther that we can separate these lines and the farther price action gets above the 50-day, the more likely it is that this will be confirmed and we can start putting in bigger moves like this. All right, next chart. What do we got? The Gaussian Channel. On this channel, we like this channel. See what I did there? The 5-day Gaussian Channel is key. Can help you for your toolkit. Again, another indicator to help stay just one step ahead of the rest of the crowd. What do we have? Well, we've come back into it the past 10 days, right? These are 5-day candles. But look, what we noted the last Bitcoin video is usually when you break, the median line, you're going to go test the bottom. But for the first time ever, Bitcoin reversed right before hitting that bottom. Now look what we're doing again. We came back in. Historically, you're supposed to go test that median line again before doing anything else. But look what's happened. It seems so far that it's reversing again. So maybe Bitcoin is starting to gain strength and starting to, throw the bird to the Gaussian channel and say, maybe you're not that important. So we will see. We'll watch this. What do we want to do? Well, right now we're at big resistance at 48.4 at that top line for that Gaussian channel. This is still going to act as resistance. Can we break through it with conviction in the next 2 days and 9 hours and close above it? That would be a big move, and that's what we want to see. We want to see us closing out of it and then leaving the Gaussian channel. We want to bounce out of it just like we did back here, right? We came back down, we're in it a little bit with a couple wicks, and then explosion to the upside. I would love to repeat something like that. Next, we have our 8-week simple moving average. Historically, the last move that we had here, the stronger the moves started becoming with Bitcoin, the farther we got away from this 8-week moving average. And also, what do you notice? It held as support every single time, going back every move until it didn't, right? This was maybe our warning sign. So like I always say, I want you to watch this 8-week moving average. Not a lot of people are watching this. So add this to another toolkit, right? You want a big toolkit in your garage or your crypto garage, right? Biggest toolkit possible, but you want them all in agreement, right? You don't want, some of your indicators saying one thing and some indicators saying something else. You want them all saying something similar to lead you to more confidence in that move of the direction that it's going. So far we're battling this line, but as you can see, we battled this line before. So are we in something, like this, and we're just going to keep battling this for a little bit and we have some work to do? Or are we starting to lift off here and we're in more of a move like this? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Well, this candle closes in 4 days and 9 hours on the weekly chart, right? Sunday evening for those of you in the US. We're battling this. I would like to see us hold above this for sure. We don't want to, the longer we take, the ceiling can raise for the price for the peak. But if we're going to, make a run towards 100K this year, we can't be messing around. We have to be hopeful we're in this moment. If we're to hit 100K this year, we can't be messing around too much longer. We got to get moving. All right. What else do we got? We got our final chart here, the Bitcoin weekly chart. What do we have? This is our bull market support band, which is simply our 20-week simple moving average and our 21-week exponential moving average in the green. Historically, what do you see? Well, when you make your bigger moves, going all the way back to the 2017 bull run, that 21 EMA stays on top. Look at that. See that? And you come back and you test this support band numerous times. Look what happens back in this big move, right? Look at the 21 EMA on top. The green is on top. We've just flipped to make it on top. Now we're holding it as support. All good signs. But does this move with this moving average? See this? See how the trajectory of this? Watch this. Does that look like this? Not really. Does it look more like this? Looks much more similar to this kind of move, right? So maybe we're right in this area. The moving averages say that we're not getting ready to go parabolic just yet. This is what we want to see. This is where I think we probably are, more than likely. Do we have to repeat exactly candle for candle? No. But I think we could have still several more weeks before we have the potential to blast off for sure. Case in point, the moving averages. Now, what are these boxes? I'm glad you asked. This is my opinion. This box is your altcoin box. The green box is your Bitcoin box. And the orange box, altcoin box. What does that mean? Well, historically, altcoins can do quite well when Bitcoin is above the 21-week support band and going kind of sideways, but still rather bullish, right? If you remember, this area right here is when Chainlink went freaking parabolic, right? At this move, when Bitcoin just put in little minor moves, 7%, 5%, 10%, on a weekly time scale, that's when altcoins can really start exploding. As Bitcoin's above the channel, like we are now, and going sideways without, getting too far away from this. Once Bitcoin starts getting about 25%, I like 25%. When you get 25% away from this support band, the 21-week EMA, that's when it's best to get back in the Bitcoin train. So where are we now? Well, right now, we're not very far above it at all, are we? We're, what, 3%? Wow. Okay, where were we here? Even look at this move, right? That looks maybe 25%? Close. Well, right there, we got close. So 25 I would say start paying attention for Bitcoin. If we start going much above 25%, it's likely we're starting to enter something like this. The Bitcoin rocket ship is getting ready to launch. So look at this, right? Back here, look at this, 34%. That was the first time we're entering above 30% away from this band. That is when Bitcoin's really starting to heat up. And that is when Bitcoin is likely going to, you want to be on the Bitcoin train to ride it up in this area. And then you hop off the Bitcoin ship as it settles down and goes sideways again, because then what happens? Go back to March and April. What was happening? Altcoins were exploding again. This is how the cycles work. You want to be in altcoins as Bitcoin gets bullish, but not too bullish. And then you hop altcoins onto the Bitcoin train to let Bitcoin take it to the lunar orbit. And then you can hop on to whatever lunar spaceship you want to on the altcoin train back after Bitcoin cools off and goes sideways again. This is how you can really accumulate a lot of money and, many X your portfolio, rather than just, keeping, 1 or 2 altcoins or 10 altcoins or 50 altcoins, whatever you're doing. I recommend, a handful of altcoins is the best move. You want to be diversified, but not too diversified. You want to concentrate on the big projects that'll do quite well, going forward, right? You want to have a majority of altcoins here in the orange box. And then as Bitcoin flips super bullish, you gotta hop the train, because when Bitcoin does this, altcoins will, although get dragged up, few percent, 5% on a weekly basis. Bitcoin's likely doing, look at these candles, 22%, 15%. I mean, week over week, 11%, 12%, 26%. When Bitcoin's doing those kind of moves, your altcoins are just going to just stare in awe. Bitcoin will really, maximize your ROI if you're on this train when it's this bullish above the band. Hopefully that helps somebody. All right, crypto fear and greed index. What are we doing? Well, look at where we are. We're at 49. We're back in neutral territory after fear, almost extreme fear yesterday. What does that mean? Well, Bitcoin is fighting the bears like hell. It's really trying to not break the market structure, even though we made a lower low. It didn't look great, but it is fighting, because guess what? It's trying to reverse it again back to the upside by making a higher high. So if we come back down, we need to make a higher low. Then we can continue back up this, and maybe this is just a big fake out down into the fear to, a final shakeout before Bitcoin really starts moving. That's what we got to hope for. Bitcoin is fighting the bears right now, like Leo DiCaprio in that one movie, The Revenant. Remember that one? There it is. Not that I had that pulled up or anything. You could just put Bitcoin's face right over Leo. He won't mind. He's fighting him right now. All right. Quote of the day. Nobody made a greater mistake than he who did nothing because he could only do a little. This is pretty good. So this kind of resonates with me. Some days, I'm like, I don't have that much to provide. There's so many channels bigger than me. I'm like, whatever. But thank you, Edmund Burke. I'll try to do my best. All right. Meme of the day. Today is Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Which means tomorrow's pre-Friday, which means the next day is Friday. So it's basically Friday. It's pretty good. All right. Car of the day. Whoa. What the hell is that? I'm glad you asked. It's a Bugatti Bolide. This is Bugatti's newest hypercar because they needed another one. These are insane. They come with racing slick tires, as you'll see in the back. Look at this. The tires are wider than some tires are tall, normal cars. Over 40, I think it's $50,000 for a set of wheels and tires here. This is factory. The racing slicks. Look at this rear end. The whole car is carbon fiber. $5 million. Holy hell. These are the headlights. Look at this. These light up, and look at the roof scoop, forced air induction, cool off the engine. The whole car is carbon, like I said. These light up. They're supposed to be a retrofit to the first Bugattis that when they raced the cars, they put tape over the headlights. So it's supposed to, be a homage to the first Bugatti, as I understand it. There's your gas cap way up there. Don't drip on the damn carbon. God forbid you curb one of these wheels. I mean, might as well just sell your house. That's insane. If you follow Manny Koshman, he has a channel. He does like a lot of hypercar. He's buying one. He already reserved one. He thinks he's gonna get the first one. $5 million bucks. Might as well. Bugatti Bolide. Pretty sick. That is probably the best looking rear end I've ever seen on any car. I'll leave you at that. Hopefully this video helped somebody out there today. If you haven't already, give us a thumbs up. Follow us. Twitter, Telegram, Patreon. I appreciate all you guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you on the next one. Go buy a Bugatti.